Hello, 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 and welcome back to another video on the JJ Think Tank. So another book review today, and it's another British novel, another English novel, and this time From Russia with Love by Ian Fleming. And so far, this is the only Bond novel that I have read. I haven't read any other Bond novels. To be honest, I've never really been a fan of James Bond. Hero, the anti-hero, James Bond has never really appealed to me. I guess after this book, I've grown to appreciate James Bond a little bit more. I've watched clips from the old James Bond films. So, for example, yes, from Russia with Love with Sean Connery, I think, is that song in the film, which is beautiful to listen to, and of course I've watched a couple of the more recent films with Daniel Craig. I think Casino Royale. I think that's one of the James Bond films that I have seen. I think there's one more, maybe Skyfall. I think Skyfall, yes. So I think I've seen maybe two James Bond films. I mean, yeah, they were decent. Not a massive fan, to be honest. They weren't awful, but they weren't really great as well. I thought. I guess in general, the music in the James Bond films is good. So in Skyfall we have Adele, yes, singing the main theme. It's a great song, Skyfall, and in the film From Russia with Love we have this also this theme as well, this beautiful song. But yes, I mean it's funny because Daniel Craig he doesn't really look like an Englishman to me. He looks like a Russian, right? He's got these blue eyes. He's got this expression, Russian expression perhaps. He looks like a Russian. Looks more like a Russian than an Englishman, in my opinion. I guess many cultural commentators liked him as James Bond. Perhaps they're right. I don't mind Daniel Craig. He's not my favourite actor. I prefer other actors over him. But I don't hate him or anything. I don't dislike him. Yeah, I just prefer other actors. And generally, if someone should play James Bond, they should have dark hair. I believe dark hair. Well, blue eyes or dark eyes doesn't really matter. But I think they should have dark hair, yes, and they should be of a decent height. So 1m80 perhaps, one bit taller, 1m83, 85 maybe. So yes. I know Daniel Craig now. He won't be playing James Bond anymore, right? So someone will have to replace him. I think this is what I've heard. So it'll be interesting. It will be interesting to find out who will replace him in the forthcoming films. But yes, let's talk about the book itself. Yes, From Russia with Love. And why did I choose this book? I could have chosen any other James Bond films or books. Yes, to analyse. But I began with this one. Yes. Mainly because it concerns Russia, yes, and there is this eternal war between the Anglos and the Ruskies. Between the Anglos and the Ruskies over the control of the Eurasian landmass. This is the great game, as Halford Mackinder famously prophesied. He was a English geopolitician, and he noticed that this war takes place, this great game. The Anglos, they don't want Russia to unify the Eurasian landmass because this will threaten their imperial ambitions. And it's interesting to watch, the current developments, and I wonder what will happen in the future. Whether in the 21st century the Anglos will finally withdraw from the Eurasian landmass totally, or will they still be active in certain areas? Because in this century, in the 21st century, in the remaining years of the 21st century, things will definitely change, because we've got the rise of China, India. So many other countries are becoming more powerful, both in a political and economic sense. So we can think of Kazakhstan, for instance. Kazakhstan, Russia itself is becoming stronger from an economic and from an economical perspective, political perspective. Despite all the propaganda, Russia is overall, I think, on the right path. Putin has led that country well, and I mean, it's possible that maybe the Anglos will totally withdraw from Eurasia. This is possible. America might start to focus on Latin America. Yes. I wonder what will happen. I also chose this book because this great game, it indirectly affects all the nations in between East and West. So we can think of Ukraine, we can think of Poland, we can think of Hungary, Czech Republic, etc. We can think of Turkey. Turkey is kind of in between East and West. Iran to a degree. So all these countries are involved in a great game, and it's important for these countries to balance their interests between West and East. Because if they pin their hopes too much on either the East or the West, they ultimately could lose out. Yes, they need to prioritize a strategy that actually plays off the two sides against each other. So this is what Poland should do. They should finally, these Polish politicians, they should finally go, if they are at the negotiating table, they should listen to all these diplomats, these ambassadors from different countries, and ask them, okay, what can you offer us? What can you offer us? What economic deal could you offer us? And then go to the others, go to the Americans. So for instance, first go to the Chinese, say, okay, well, what can you offer us? Then go to the Americans, what can you offer us? Then to the Russians, what can you offer us? And play them off against each other. And then choose the right deal, the deal that maximizes their economic benefits, because all these countries, they are an important part of linking East and West, because the trade routes go through these countries, right? Important trade routes go through Turkey, through Poland, through Iran, etc. Yes. So instead of being subjects, slaves to these Anglos and these Ruskies, they need to become the masters. They need to play off these Ruskies and these Anglos against each other. It's kind of my geopolitical conception. I mean, other thinkers are talking about this. You can find a lot of geopoliticians that talk about this strategy, and certainly these countries will become more powerful, I think, in the 21st century. China will also facilitate this. So, a lot of processes are taking place now that are definitely interesting to watch. So, I began my article here with this quote by Jay Dyer. So, I rate Jay Dyer. I respect his intellect. He's a YouTuber, Orthodox Christian YouTuber, philosopher, intellectual, theologian. He dabbles in all disciplines, yes. And this is what you have to say. Yes, there is nothing novel about the use of the arts to shape public opinion. This is definitely true. Art is used to control the minds of the masses, to shape their worldview, to propagandize them, and this occurs on a subconscious and unconscious level. And then I included this quote by Ian Fleming, so the writer, yes, the writer of From Russia with Love, yes. This is what he wrote: "Everything I write has precedence in truth." Ian Fleming, he was involved with the establishment, with the British establishment, so he knew what was going on. He didn't just make all of this up. Obviously, there is an element of fiction and fantasy in these books and these films, but there's also there's some truth, yes, to these films and books, yes, and so let's analyze Bond, yes, the character of Bond. So James Bond, he's much loved in the Anglo-Saxon world, and it's not surprising, yes. These are not really my thoughts. These are the thoughts even of Ian Fleming and J. Dyer, yes, and other analysts. So Bond, he represents the light of the fading British Imperial Empire and the Anglo-Saxon race, whose destiny it is or was to rule the planet. We'll see. I mean, I still think the Anglo-Saxons, the English, the Americans, they'll still play a role in the forthcoming years, but they won't be the most important players. A multipolar world will emerge. I think this will occur. The time of the unipolar world is over when only Anglos dominated. I think this is over now, and we're shifting to this multipolar world. Others argue that, so returning to Bond now, James Bond, others argue that James Bond, he physically embodies modernity and late-stage capitalism. He does, doesn't he, a little bit, James Bond, Mr. Bondy. And it's also self-evident, I think. It's quite self-evident that Bond is this Nietzschean overman figure, the Superman, the Ubermensch. So that's why I love these fake alphas. They love Bond. This Nietzschean overman figure, beyond good and evil, with a license to kill. So, Bond is an anti-hero. Definitely, he's an anti-hero. He's not a hero in the truest sense, yes. And in general, I think I like these stories that show the hero as being an anti-hero. Because the vast majority of humanity are anti-heroes. We're in between lightness and darkness. Only a select few are part of the light, really, I think. Not many. Just my thought, yes. And yes, James Bond, he's an anti-hero. So yes, let's go into Ian Fleming now, yes, and it's not surprising that he held such views of himself, yes, he not of himself. What I was meant to say. What I meant to say was that Ian Fleming shared these views, yes, of England, of the Anglo-Saxons, and James Bond. Yes, of course. Well, Ian Fleming, he is from from England, yes. So, of course, he'll be patriotic, and it's not nothing bad, yes. Just like other countries are allowed to express their patriotism, so should the English, yes. And he held such views because he worked in the British Navy's political warfare executive, and this was an office that specialised in propaganda, psychological warfare, and rumours. So Ian Fleming was from an upper class family, where some of his members worked in British intelligence and propaganda. and he married into the aristocracy. So there's no doubt that his social class played a role in developing the character of Bond. So Bond, yeah, James Bond, he is this aristocratic figure, yes. And now, well, a thought just came to my mind about Andrew Tate and his brother Tristan Tate. I think, yes, both of them definitely like James Bond, and that's not surprising because they are half English, yes. But out of the two, I think Tristan Tate is definitely more refined. He's more aristocratic, yes, Tristan Tate. He's more cultured. He likes to read books. If you listen to Tristan Tate, he says that he likes reading books. That's good to see, because big books are very important. You have to read books. I don't agree with this view of Andrew that reading books is a waste of time. No. Of course, you should read the right books, not just junk, yes? And you shouldn't just read for the sake of it. You should only read if you genuinely want to read the book and you think it will uncover something. This is just my approach, yes? I mean, I strive to live a balanced life. I don't want to become too bookish, because I don't think this is good either. But I do like to read. I consider myself an intellectual to a degree, maybe not a very great one, but I like the world of the intellect, and Tristan Tate, he represents Bond. He is a real Bond. He's doing it in the real world. Yes, Tristan Tate is not a fake alpha. Tristan Tate is a real alpha for all his faults. Yes, he was a bit unethical in the past, perhaps a bit immoral, but now he's making up for it. Yes, I think he's ultimately. I think he is a good man. Yes, he's handsome as well. He's handsome. He's big. He's strong. He's well spoken, and I like the fact that he's promoting the idea of reading the great books. I like this. So I know he Tristan Tate recommended the book The Count of Monte Cristo. This is an amazing book. I read this I think maybe 6 years ago. I think 6 years ago. The Count of Monte Cristo. Here it is. What a book. And the film as well is amazing. The film. So this was written by Alexandre Dumas, French novel. And yes, I remember I first came across Tristan Tate when he had an interview with Jay Dyer. This was maybe 5-6 years ago. This is when I first came across Tristan Tate. Back then he was still a bit immoral, I think. He was a bit unethical. But they were talking about orthodoxy, yes? And I believe Tristan Tate has converted to orthodoxy. I believe Tristan Tate is an Orthodox Christian now, from what I can gather. And yes, I think he's doing God's work. I think Tristan Tate is doing God's work. I follow his Twitter profile sometimes, and he's quite accurate in his geopolitical analysis. I think overall he's pretty accurate. Yes. He doesn't really have any inherent biases, perhaps, towards any nation. I think he's quite balanced, I think, and he exposes the evil nature of these various establishments. Yes. So okay, there's that. But yeah, I've gone on a bit of a tangent, but I think it's relevant, right? It's relevant because fiction plays out in reality. Yes. And Tristan Tate is like James Bond, I think, a little bit, definitely. So let's go back to geopolitics. I don't want to repeat myself. So here, obviously, Ian Fleming, he's biased. Yes, he presents the Ruskies, the Russians, as evil. This is obviously a projection. They're both as bad as each other, really. Let's be honest. All empires are as bad as each other. They all want the same thing. They want influence, power, yes? So this is kind of just, we could say, a narcissistic projection, yes? On the civilizational level. So the Soviets and the Ruskies are presented in a bad light as the baddies, yes, that need to be countered to continue the spread of Western capitalism as opposed to communism. I think both these systems ultimately don't function, yes. I mean, probably capitalism works slightly better, but it's still not a solution, definitely. And we can see this now, yes. I mean, inequality is rising, yes, because I actually don't think we're living in a true capitalist environment. All the markets have been captured, I think, by and large, by corporations, yes, and there's a merger taking place between corporations and government, big government. So we're not really living in a true capitalist system anymore. It's kind of a corporate state model. So yes, and here I included Fleming's comment in the preface to the book, and this again confirms the non-fictional nature of this book of Ian Fleming's book. Yes, From Russia with Love, and this is what he wrote: "Not that it matters, but a great deal of the background to the story is accurate. Smrsh, a contraction of Smert Spionam, so this is Russian, yes, Smert, death to the spies, exists and remains today the most secret department of the Soviet government." And it's probably true now. It's still true now because Boris Nemtsov was killed. Alexei Navalny was killed. I mean, they were, I think to a degree, they were Western agents. Look, I'm not excusing Putin. Look, it's a tragedy what happened to Boris Nemtsov, Navalny. All I say is they did to a degree they represented Western interest, yes, and look, I don't know, did Putin order their deaths or not? Probably, maybe, I don't know. I mean, all I can tell you is that there definitely is a lot of propaganda against Putin. By and large, Putin has set Russia on the right path. Putin overall has been a great leader for Russia, I think. Of course, now I think his time is coming. I think his time is up soon. A new leader needs to emerge in Russia. Well, it'll be interesting to find out, you know, who will become this new Tsar of Russia. Yes, but yes, I mean overall, despite his faults, yes, Putin, I think he has been a great leader for Russia. Yes, and yes, well, we'll see what will happen. Yes, in the future. So, but let's go to the book itself. Let's talk now about the literary side of it, the artistic side of it, and the narrative itself. You know, the characters that Fleming creates and employs, they are expertly crafted. There's a lot of suspense. Like the suspense is like content is building and building and building throughout the novel. It's great. It's great. I loved this. Well, I remember when I read it. It was great. It was a great experience, and obviously we reach a climax near the end on the Orient Express, and here Nash reveals himself to be the killer and assassin Grant, a monster to whom we are introduced to at the beginning of the novel, who is then, by a hair's breadth, successfully eliminated by Bond, yes? So other notable characters include the Russian beauty Tatiana Romanova, Kerim and Rosa Klebb. So, obviously here we have a bias, yes, a British Anglo-Saxon bias against Russians, yes, because they kind of equate Russians with like being a monster or something, yes, kind of, in some way, yes, and I guess also we have this subtle illusion that Bond is able to seduce all the women, yes. So yes, obviously every country has their biases, has their heroes. Yes, so Bond is the hero for the Anglo-Saxons. Yes. So yes, and then I ended my article here with with the question: have I always been fascinated by Bond, portrayed either through the movies or novels? Not really, to be honest. No. I understand the allure. Yes, I understand why Bond is popular. But no, I've never really felt any attachment to the Bond character, to be honest, or to any of the movies. But I have to say, this book was great. It was a great book, and maybe I'll read another book by Ian Fleming. I don't know which one I should read. Which ones are the most important books by him? If anyone can comment, that would be great. And let me know what you think. It was great. It was great. The writing was amazing. It was Fleming used the English language very well in this novel, and because this novel really reflects geopolitical realities, I think it's definitely relevant for our postmodern era, definitely. So yes, that's the end of my video. I don't want to talk more. I don't want to waste your time. I'll end my video with this quote: Rosa Kleb's pale eyes, gazing out across the room, lit on the pink shape on the wall map that was England. Her wet lips parted. Oh my gosh. Colonel Klebb speaking. The conspiratia against the English spy Bond. The operation will commence forthwith. And with that, I shall end my video about the book, the famous novel by Ian Fleming, From Russia with Love. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you're still listening, I appreciate you greatly spending your time here on the JJ Think Tank. You could have spent your time elsewhere, but I decided to hang around here with me on the JJ Think Tank, and I really appreciate that. If you like the video, consider liking and subscribing. Well, if you are a new viewer, that is. If you are an existing viewer, please like and comment. I'd like to know what you think about James Bond, about From Russia with Love. If you recommend any other James Bond films or books, yes, it'll be great to hear what you think. But yes, that's the end of the video. Once again, thank you for listening, and I wish you all the best. Take care.